Yay Media Group.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast.
You guys, can we just talk about how in a few days we're going to have a 3-year-old? And that's what this podcast is. This podcast, we're just going to answer some questions that you guys have over on Instagram. You guys came in with some hot ones. And we're going to start off with just a little update, just letting you guys know how our week has been. Because we're in the trenches a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thanks for giving nothing, babe.
Guys, if we're sitting so close, it's because the farther you go out to the edge of the lens, the fatter it makes you look. So I do not want to look fat this podcast.
I was doing the thumbnail last week and he's like, oh my God. And I showed him, like, there was a part where we're right in the middle of the lens and then he moves and he just looks so stretched out. So if you work with cameras, you know that you get wider. But guys, just the things we have cooking up for this podcast is amazing. We're going to bring in 3 angles. Like, you're going to get it all. We're actually locking in this year for the podcast as well. Like, it was our hobby, yeah, but now we're going to pour more love into our hobby. You know what I mean? But yeah, this week has been hard just because everyone's been getting colds. Like, it starts with my sisters and then it goes to my parents and then it goes to the kids and then it goes to Jonathan and then it goes back. Like, it's a never ending cycle of someone getting sick.
And it was also pink eye.
Yeah, we got
my little cousin got pink eye. He gave it to my brother. My brother gave it to Belen. Belen gave it to Franco. And then Franco gave it to me.
And guess what? I am left untouched.
Yeah, but we've been all sick. We've been getting really bad sleep. And it's just been a rough one.
Oh, as soon as we press record, I'm getting all these DMs, all these messages. All of a sudden, I'm needed. But yeah, guys, we're a little bit in the trenches and then we're a little nervous because this weekend is Franco's birthday. And a lot of you guys are actually telling me like, oh my gosh, your son turns 3 in a couple of days. And I'm like, I know, girl.
That's so crazy. 3.
And I think that this is the time when we're noticing it more because if you're a parent, you know, right? But in case you're not a parent and you want to know a little insight, as your toddler starts becoming a kid, you notice it. Like, you clock it right away. Because you look at him and you're like, this guy is like giving kid vibes, So it's just been a crazy hectic week at the house, just seeing his development. And it's crazy that it's right before he turns 3. Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, guys, his birthday party comes up and then his actual birthday and then his 3-year-old checkup at the doctor's. Just parent things. And then we're going to Disney the next day. Anyways, no, we're not. I wish we were. I was thinking the other day, I was like, what if we just go crazy and fuck it, we go.
Who? But just him?
Oh, no, we couldn't leave Belen. There's no way.
Oh, then no.
You wouldn't take both of them again?
No.
Why?
It's just for what? We talked about it. Belen doesn't care.
I know, but it's fun for us. She sleeps. We ride the rides.
And who holds her?
Both of us, babe. Don't even cap on my name right now.
Yeah, babe, but I'm trying to get on a ride with you.
Yeah, that was hard on. Not one ride did we ride together. Put your 2 cents into what you want this new podcast rebrand to be, because I feel like we started off really strong with the Chisme era, and it was like Chisme about our life. Yeah. So what else do we have to give? We already gave them all our toxic stories. We already did all the deep diving into our relationship. So for this new podcast era, we want to throw in a little bit more, not just us. We want to introduce new guests, new segments. Oh, I was telling you I want to do the pop culture update just because I'm so interested into the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni case. Mm-hmm. It's baffling and it's my favorite thing to watch on TikTok right now. Babe, are you good?
I'm waiting for the questions, babe.
Well, I'm having a conversation. You're not replying to anything I'm saying.
I just feel like you're carrying this one hardcore because my mind is in like 5 different places. I'm still stuck at when you said about Franco's birthday, and I'm like, damn, he is 3, and he is acting like a little child. Sorry. Jeez, don't gotta call me out like that. Just start the questions.
Well, because I'm talking and you're literally just...
Well, I don't want to interrupt you.
I'm not. I finished and I'm waiting for you to respond.
No. Sorry, 4 years later, first mess up.
I'm sure. Oh, here, you could do the questions since you're not carrying.
¿Tus papás cómo se sienten que ganó Trump? ¿Tienen miedo? Yo sí.
Honestly, like, my parents have never shown fear to me. They're always like, whatever happens, happens. If we have to go back, if by any chance they get us, like, we have to go back home, like, we're from Mexico, you know. But they've never instilled fear in me. If anything, I'm scared, you know, and I've always been scared. I've grown up in fear. My parents never showed it to me. So if they haven't showed it. And even when he won, they're like, what are we gonna do about it, you know? So I think my parents carry a very nonchalant aura around the elections. And
I feel like this
president.
year they've talked about it more though, like moving to Mexico actually.
Yeah, because I feel like when you hear everything that he wants, because obviously he's not going to do everything, but at the end of the day, even Jonathan and I were talking about it, or even a lot of people on TikTok, they're like, well, if they want us to leave and if they kick us out, then what are we going to do, you know?
Yeah.
And I always live by the saying that's like, don't worry until you have to worry. So I feel like my parents also do it. They don't worry until, something happens, now we have to worry, you know, because then you're just going to drain yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's a very heavy topic. It's a very heavy time for so many people. So I'm just doing what I can, spreading the news, sending TikTok, sending screenshots to my parents, just in case. God forbid. No, like, I'm sure sending them their rights and stuff. Okay. In case anything were to happen. God forbid. Shout out Colorado.
I told my suegros, I was like, because I'm a big conspiracy theorist, as you guys know. And I'm like, I truly feel like with Trump in office and everyone, if you guys watched his inauguration, all those rich billionaires sitting behind him, it's just not a good look. And I'm not getting a good feeling emotionally for what's to come. I'm a very like, what is that called? People call me? Where like you feel emotion. Anyways, that, and I just don't like it anymore. I don't like the vibe the U.S. is giving. It's giving very corporate business. You just work to die. So I was like, you know what? Moving to Mexico wouldn't be the worst idea. You know, we can still come back every once in a while for like whatever we need. But I'm fine with buying land, properties, starting a business in Mexico and just moving, because the U.S. is really a third world country with a Gucci belt. Literally.
I feel like this time around, I feel like the first time he was elected, it was a lot of hate and like people lashing out at him. And now it's like, what's the point of all of it? You know, because we clearly don't have a say in it. Like, he won. So kind of just take control of your own life, you know, and see what's best, have your plans, know your rights, because it's scary.
And this, piggybacking off of this other girl asked, what are your thoughts on what's going on in America? Fires / ICE raid / Inauguration Day. And it's all that, guys. Like, to sum it up, it's just giving bad vibes, you know? Like, you know how TikTok went down for a bit? Oh, we can talk about that. And it's like, God, the TikTok ban. We thought it was going away, guys. But it's like, you don't remain in power for so long without being smart. Yeah. We think about these senators and these people in power as these dumb old boomers. But in reality, guys, it's sad to say, they're actually really smart. And they're smart enough to keep us at bay, like in with them with all the power for so long. They know what they're doing, you know? So the fact that it went down overnight and then you come back and all of a sudden, I told Blanca, I was like, babe, have you seen anything about the fires, about Luigi, you know, the guy that killed the CEO, about, you know, the things happening on in Gaza, like stuff like that? And no, like, it's crazy. Like, they sold out. Like, what a coincidence that the CEO of TikTok was there, or old CEO was at the inauguration, and so next to Mark Zuckerberg, which should be his like enemy, right? Because that's who wants to buy it. So
yeah, at the end of the day, like, everyone on TikTok was like, oh, this TikTok CEO got us, like, he's not gonna sell, blah blah blah. And then after the TikTok came back 12 hours later, they're like, bruh, billionaire bros are just that, billionaire bros. Like, as long as they remain with so much money and so much power, they don't care about us. They don't care about the people. They're making money regardless. Yeah. So yeah, we could be like, oh yeah, he cares and he's never gonna sell and it's not gonna be metified. You thought, girl.
You thought.
We thought. Because I was right there with you, and then I saw his repost and I was like, all right, unfollow.
Yeah. And then in regards to ICE and the fires, like, it's sad. I mean, we've been there before, you know, like when Trump came into office, like
the first time
he said he did all that. And you know what? I mean, I get it. There's been more fucked up shit going on with like the whole, like a lot of other people coming in and stuff. So, but hopefully I just hope they like try to target, I don't know if there's
just criminals.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it would be so sad if they stop and they actually get hardworking Mexican people, you know?
Exactly.
Like, that would be so messed up.
Yeah, I feel like with the ICE raids, it's nothing new to us because, yeah, the first time he came into terms, it was, ICE sighting here, ICE sighting there, and you couldn't really see it because I don't think it was publicized as much when there were ICE raids and checkpoints and all of that. And you think that because you are away from you're more than 100 miles away from a border, like you're safe. But then they're out here saying like, oh, if you're 100 miles within an international airport, you're basically the border. And this, like, I really, really think that he's only trying to scare us because a lot of people online, attorneys, lawyers, everyone is saying he does not have the budget to do this, especially to go into workplaces or to go knocking on doors or to even get the police, like local police involved in it. So I would say like it is super sad, it is super scary, but we have to be strong, you know, like just keep your family, your loved ones informed. Make sure you have all of these attorneys that are working pro bono in cases like this, because that is going to be so helpful if anyone that you know ever gets detained. But yeah, just literally know your rights and have a plan.
How has being parents of two changed you?
I feel like it's made
there's another one that you can piggyback off of that. What are ways you stay disciplined in your life, job, etc.? Any tips? Love you.
I think that's what changed. Like having two kids made us disciplined, and like it made us change our life. Because yeah, like when you're living for yourself, you're like, whatever, I can go to the gym, I can wake up at 11, I can eat 2 bags of Funyuns. Having 2 kids, you're like, okay, when they go to sleep, we have to reset the house, we have to go to sleep early because we need all of this energy, we have to find little pockets to edit anything. Like I feel like our fuel now is our kids, you know, because we have to be better people for them, and that's enough. Like it literally changes your life so much. And now we just want to be the best version of ourselves for them. Have you seen that thing there? It's like when you have kids, you basically spend 18 years being worthy of them having a relationship with you. Like proving that you're worthy enough to have a relationship. Yeah,
because then when they leave, they either want nothing to do with you
or they're calling you every day, hitting you up for Sunday dinners, you know? So you just have to be the best version of yourself. Like the more love and self-care you pour into yourself, the better your kids are going to be. I promise you that. Mm-hmm. How has it changed you, baby? I didn't say nothing. Or you agree with everything I said?
Yeah, no, the discipline. I wanted to incorporate that question because I feel like you have 2 options, right? You have kids and you can still be grind and work on your businesses and work on your life, your fitness life. But then you put unfortunately, like it's true. Like, voy a hablar con, sin pelos en la boca, lengua, like, you put your kids on a back burner, which a lot of people do and can do, right? But then there's the option of like, I'm going to put all my businesses on hold for a year or 2 and raise my kids and love them and give them real attention, you know? Because we know people, or we just know like celebrities and stuff like that like they just don't stop work and their kids are put to the side, and then they les agarran rencor later on, you know what I mean? And it's not like we do it, but like we truly want to enjoy. Like I can wake up and see the difference in Franco, whereas like Blanca could easily been like, I'm not going to breastfeed Belen no more because we need to go on trips. We need to do collabs. We need to, I need to leave her for 8 hours a day and go work on our like, vibing, you know? And it's like, no, vibing, as you guys know, as you guys have noticed, has been put on hold for a long time now. Belle and Frank, even the podcast sometimes because of our kids. So could we put our kids in the back seat and grind and probably have way more money than we made last year or whatever? Sure. And could Vibin be, I don't know, national now already from like giving it so much effort? But then time with your kids, you never get it back. So you have 2 options. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. Maybe you are a business, go type of person, but we do want a good relationship with our kids. Since we maybe only plan on having 2, we don't have that much room to like fuck up, I guess. You could say it. It's either Franco and Belen want to hang out with us or they don't. And I love my kids so much, and I would hate for them to like not call me on a random day when they get exciting news, you know?
And another TikTok I saw, because I literally can't live without TikTok. So those 12 hours, I wasn't dying, but I was a little bit scared. I saw therapists come on TikTok and say, if you ace the first 3 years of your child life, ya fregaste. Like those first 3 years literally built them into who they are. And it is so true, because you just like, you guys can see with Franco, and I get so many comments about him, but the only thing that we do with Franco is pour so much love into him and just treat him with love. Like, yeah, you have to be disciplined, you have to tell him and correct him and whatever, but we do everything with love. And you see that, like, he's gonna be 3 and he is such a sophisticated young man, you know. So yeah, it's like they say, basically, what we are so blessed that we were able to choose that route and say, we'll put a few of our things on the side and just focus on the kids for now. And it's paid off well as of now. Because Franco's turning 3, he has to go to school, he has to get social, he has to do sports. So like it or not, like, he's going to start detaching from us a little bit, you know? So I'm glad that we had these good 3 solid years with him. And
we tried the other route, Blanca. We got to a point where, like, Blanca would be like, okay, babe, because she knows I'm like a work type of person. If I don't exercise or work in a day, I'm just in a really bad mood. So Blanca, there was a point in our relationship where she's like, okay, babe, you're going to wake up. Like, if you had a normal job, right, you're going to drop off the girls at school and then you're going to go work at the office all day on Vibin and Spill the Beans and J&J. And then you're going to come home like if you had a job.
Boink. It's your hood.
Oh. But then I did it. I did it for a day or 2, 3 max. And then I was like, this sucks. Like, I'm miserable. Like, I miss my kids so much. I think we had Franco nomás when I did that.
No, she was tiny.
Oh, yeah, she was tiny. And then I was like, this sucks. Like, I'd rather be with my son. Like, I miss him so much throughout the day. And then I tried taking him to the office, but, you know, how are you going to have a little kid in the office all day? So then I was like, you know what? We'll just put our stuff in the back burner. Right now, recently, ever since the new year started, we've given my sister more responsibility, I guess, with Vibin, and she's been grinding. Right now is just a matter of waiting for things to arrive. I don't know why, but all the shirts that we love to use are really sold out. Like, they're sold out. We have to wait months and months to get them. And could we go for a cheaper whatever? Only if you've bought from Vibin do you know the quality of the shirts, like, no cap. So could we get, you know, $2 cotton on tees from, like, wherever everyone gets them? But we just like the quality Vibin has. So do we have to wait longer for shirts? Sure.
Yeah, we have to be a little bit more organized in that sense, but it feels nice, like, coming out of it, because having 2 kids is a lot of work and having 1 is really easy in our experience. So as soon as, like, Belen is done nursing, I think that we'll be able to, like, fully go back. But even now, Franco's turning 3. He's going to start his gymnastics class here soon. He's going to start doing more things that kind of get him more involved in social with other people and not just us. And he has to be confident in that sense, where we'll be able to leave both of them for a long period of time and be able to focus on work, you know. But I feel like this last year was really just focusing on Belen and Franco and, you know, being attached to the hip with Belen, because she's nursing 24/7. So everyone keeps asking me, like, when are you going to finish? When are you going to stop? When are you going to introduce formula? I'm like, I'm not. I'm not going to stop until I hit the same mark I did with Franco. I honestly think it was amazing in that sense. Like, I hit a perfect timeline nursing him. I felt comfortable. He felt comfortable. And I'm going to go obviously based off what Belen shows me. But as of now, it's just going to be the same.
Guys, we don't have any ads for this week's podcast, but I do have one here because she's been an avid listener of Spill the Beans for a long time. And I don't know, I just like to give back to our community, especially the ones that have been with us for a while. Her name's Ideal Creation, and she said, Hola Blanca and Jonathan, I hope all is well. As you know, I was doing custom cups, but unfortunately it didn't go as well. She sent us some cups a while back and other stuff, and no longer doing them. I started a small business this month as an event planner, since I love decorating for my kids' birthday parties. Y con el favor de Dios me vaya bien. I posted a giveaway for Valentine's, and only 2 people have entered. I really appreciate a shout out if you're still doing them. Thank you for being great friends. I consider you guys my friends. Hello. Here's my business. And we'll put a screenshot right here.
So Diaz Lopez. Yeah. Hit them up. Party planner, you know, go enter the giveaway. 2 people have entered, so you probably have
a more chance
of winning. So please go enter her giveaway and let her know that Spill the Beans podcast sent you.
Wait, I had a question for you.
Oh.
It says, do we want more kids, babies?
You know what, guys? I'm just going to shut up.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, like, we're done talking about it. Do we want more? I don't know.
What is our, like, we can say our opinion right now, which is we're both don't want kids anymore, right?
Yeah. But
some weeks you tell me yes, other weeks you tell me no.
Literally. And that's the thing. Like, I cannot answer this truthfully and honestly until we decide on a birth control option, which is Jonathan getting a vasectomy. So as soon as he gets a vasectomy, I will loud and proudly say no more kids ever, just 2. But if I say that right now and I get pregnant, you guys are gonna be like, oh my God, Blanca, didn't you just say, you know? So until further notice, until the vasectomy,
lo que Dios quiera. You know, maybe he's been postponing this vasectomy because we're meant to have 3 kids or more. It's just kids are like a long-term, I don't know. Having a lot of kids is a short, okay, when you have a little bit of kids, it's like immediate happiness. But when they grow older and then they leave you and you don't have any kids to hang out, it's like short-term satisfaction. But when you have a lot of kids, it's very difficult at the beginning, right? You're sad, you're stressed because you don't have any time for yourself and your marriage. But when they're older and you're older, then it's beautiful. It's that long-term investment, right? Like, I don't know, Christmas rolls around and you have 30 nietos because you had 5 kids and everyone loves you and you're the cool grandma and grandpa, right? But right now in our life, I think we need to start being selfish a little bit, and we want to get a house first. We want to, you know, start investing in businesses and doing other things. So I feel like having another kid would just put that in the back burner for another at least 3 years, you know?
Yeah. And it's so hard. You can have a baby. It's so hard because anytime I look at TikToks, they're like, please stop at 2. Like, I think 2 is the perfect thing. And then moms, what I've seen personally is like, there are so many moms that say 3 is crazy and that the 3rd one is the craziest one, but they always end the TikTok saying, but I started having kids at 29. So it's probably if I was younger and had started sooner, I wouldn't be saying this because I would have more energy and blah, blah, blah. So I feel like it just depends on who you are as a person, who you are as a parent, and what kind of kids temperament you get. So we can say 2 is easy, and for some 2 is hard. And we can say 3 is going to be so hard, and for some say that the 3rd is like the easiest one. So we're kind of done talking about that in the sense where whatever happens. If I end up getting pregnant before Jonathan gets a vasectomy, then we're just going to, you know, take it. Like, what else are we going to do except we know what we're doing, you know? So at the end of the day, oh my God, I'm never going to say that word again. At the start of the day, it's because you're not on Ash Trevino Talk. Oh, I'm not. But yeah, we're done talking about this until further notice.
Blanca, what do you like most of who Jonathan is today? Good question.
What do I like most of who Jonathan is today? I feel like
I like how you're a good mother. Like how good of a mother you turned out to be. Because I had my doubts for a second.
Well, yeah, because I literally preached that I didn't want kids.
You didn't want kids, but like you also have never been like, even when we got Ozo, like you loved Ozo so much. Like you loved him. He was your child. But you never showed affection. Like you show affection. Yeah, you would give him the best treats, buy him the best collars and stuff. But you never like, oh, look at my little Ozo. You know, you wouldn't.
Honey,
babe.
He slept with us, and I would cuddle him in bed, and I'd be like, "Oh, my Ozo,
yes, keep going, pop off, queen.
Honey,
action,
go back
showing,
to my vlogs. Go back to my vlogs.
Riding with him in the car. But you just, this is the one thing that stuck with me. Like, I was like, is she ever gonna baby talk her own kids? Like, what
Guys,
if she doesn't
please, desmientan a Jonathan y vayan a ver mis vlogs from when we got Ozo.
I just don't, baby. And then I was like, whatever. Fast forward. I was like, when we have a son or a daughter, like, is she gonna know how to, like, is she going to want to talk to them like a baby? Like, she's just so, like, I don't know. You were so emotionless. You give big, like, aunt vibes, you know?
Yeah,
like,
and I didn't like kids growing up.
Yeah. So then, but you want to be a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah, but like that's not your child. Like,
so you were gonna be that teacher?
No, I
all
can have.
Mean.
I could have like me thinking of being a teacher, and I didn't want to be a kindergarten teacher. I wanted to just be a teacher in general. But me thinking about being a teacher, it's like, okay, I have these kids for a certain amount of time. I intentionally have patience for them then, for 8 hours a day, right? And like pour everything I can into that. It wasn't a passion of mine because obviously I didn't pursue it. But growing up, and like maybe because I had little sisters and they were little crackheads, I was so like, oh my God, kids. Like I would literally, me being a sister, I didn't get to sleep in on the weekends. I didn't get to just go with my friends on the weekends. I had to work around taking care of my sisters too. So I was like, even if I am a mom, like what the hell? Like where do you get all this patience and love? And I surprised myself too, actually. Yeah.
So what's yours for me?
Who do I like? What do I like? I feel like you are more emotionally aware. I feel like at the first 5-6 years of a relationship, you were emotionally unavailable, and slowly but surely you've became a little bit more.
And
available.
I still am.
You still are.
A lot. I have to literally put reminders on my phone. I have a reminder on my phone that says post Blanca.
Babe, that is so fucked up.
But like I do it because I genuinely love you, and I want, you know, like I need help. Like I have like, not a joke, but I always say like, you know, El Jaime, or ¿cómo le dice tu mamá? El Jaime is getting close to me, and I just forget stuff, guys, because my brain is rolling at 1,000,000 things per mile.
Yeah. I mean, I've understood Jonathan when this will always get stuck in my brain when he was like, what do you hear? Like when you go to the store, what is in your head? I'm like, nothing. And when I'm driving, nothing's in my head. I'm not thinking about anything. And he's like, oh, I have like 1,000,000 tiny voices talking about what I'm going to do, where I'm going, what I'm going to grab, how I'm going to get out of the car, how I'm going to walk. And I'm like, that is insane. Like, I understand now that his brain is very
Sometimes
loud.
I just want to cry. Like,
that is so sad.
Like it's never quiet. And now that you bring it up, I'm glad you brought it up, because maybe someone on here, has anyone taken I don't know if it's ADHD medicine or Adderall or stuff like that. There's stuff out there that like I've seen on TikTok. Where like people take it and then it goes blank. You know that TikTok filter where everyone's talking and then it goes like blank? Mm-hmm. That's what that medicine does. And I've seen that it quiets all that in your head, but then I guess there's some side effects. But let me know if anyone's done it, because I've learned to, but when Blanca told me that her head is quiet, I wanted to start crying, because I was like, wow, like that's amazing. And like right now, when you called me out at the beginning, like, why aren't you talking? It's because 500 things are going through my head. Like,
and for me, like, we're here and this is all I'm thinking about. And Jonathan's here, but he is not here. Like, he is thinking about what we're going to do after this and what we did all day before this. So it's like, I could never imagine. And until now, I get why he was not emotionally available for the first 6 years, which also contributed a lot to our toxic relationship. And it's just really nice to see you evolve into a better person, because I had my doubts of you being a dad. Not that you were not going to be a good one, that you're not going to be a provider. It's just that you were not going to be emotionally available to our kids. And slowly, like, I see you, like, if Franco's crying, you comfort him instead of saying like, oh, shut up, or like, stop crying, you know, which that's how I thought you were going to be. Yeah. And I don't know if you want to be like that, or if you're trying so hard.
Like, if I'm going to be real, guys, like, let's say I would have married any other woman and she let me be, I feel like you let me wear the pants, right? But sometimes we both have a leg inside. Yeah. But say I would have married any other girl that just typical Mexican household, I have all the pants, I feel like I would be like that. No llores, eres hombre. Yeah. And that's sad to think about. So I'm glad God gave me you know?
Yeah. And I think that, I don't know, Jonathan's just, it's crazy to see his change and how much he has changed internally. And obviously there's a lot of things that we both have to work on still. But right now, you being emotionally available even a little bit is like huge for me, you know? Yeah. So I think that's what I like the most about you right now. And I think it's nice because you just see that it's going to get better. You know, like Jonathan and I had a conversation the other day, and it's like, obviously communicating about our relationship. He's like, hey, the good thing about this is that it only gets better. Like, it doesn't get worse. It gets better the more we talk about things.
The more you talk about it, yeah.
So, yeah, guys, marriage, parenting, everything is hard. And yeah, social media paints it like, oh, butterflies and rainbows, but it's not. And regardless of the situation that you're in, I feel like you just have to try to be a better person, a better marriage, because again, the better you are yourself and the better your marriage is, the better parents you're going to be. And the better your kids are going to be and turn out.
How do I keep my relationship romantic with my husband after having a baby? I'm always tired. Girl, you need to communicate with him that romantic. Once you have a child, being romantic isn't anymore what you used to think it is. It's not being freaky. It's not being flowers. It's not being chocolates, dates, having the whip clean, and then your girl gets on and there's like a little black Christmas tree there smelling good. That's not what being romantic is anymore. Being romantic is if that you're tired, he cleaned the whole house. Yeah. You're tired, hey, dame la niña y yo la duermo mientras you go get like good sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, you were up all night? Let me get the morning shift. That is the new romantic. What didn't you say?
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of guys miss the mark because, again, as we always say, when you become a parent, a light switch turns off for mom and it's harder for dad, obviously. But it's cringe, but it's communication. Like, you literally have to tell your partner, hey, I would really appreciate if, because maybe no le nace, you know? I would really appreciate if while I'm doing the baby's night routine, you clean the house. Because look, she goes to sleep, the house is clean, what is going to happen? You two, both of you have free time, you can cuddle, snuggle, and get it in. You know what I mean? So you, like, your house has to become a team. You know, you are a team with your partner. One partner does most of the housework, one partner does most of the child work, and at the end of the day, both of you guys are ready to just be calm when both kids are asleep, house is clean. What comes from that? You're happy, your partner's done, he's not tired, and you're a little bit tired, but you can, you know, get a little freaky.
It would just be that, guys. Like, little, if any guys are watching this podcast, I know some of you guys do. It's just like little freebie here. Like, girls, when they're pregnant and when they're postpartum, anything you do or you don't do, it gets elevated. So they'll remember that and hold resentment towards you forever.
Even if you're like nonchalant,
oh my
you're
God,
like, oh,
está en el teléfono viendo su partido de la América and my boobs are leaking. I have the baby's crying and he's not helping me. Your girl will remember that for the rest of her life. And like, you want something at night, and she'll remember that. It's like a little filing cabinet they have. So just help your spouse as much as you can, guys.
Be a team player.
How do you guys feel about the new president and everything that's going on? That's the number one asked question. What do you feel about, or what do you think about Trump? Feelings on Trump? And let me start by saying, guys, for those that watched the inauguration, it's just like me and Blanca have said, right? This guy's like, all he has to do is be fucking nice,
preach,
not be racist, not be sexist, not be weird, and he would have the vote of everyone. Because let's go back to his economy. Yeah, the economy was good. I remember I pumped and I filled up my Silverado with like $14 one time, and you're like, oh wow, he's a businessman. At the end of the day, the economy was better. So why can't you just be a decent human being? Literally. You know, you're so like stupid. Like, I was watching the inauguration and it started off well. You know, it was like he was talking about like what he wants to do with the oil and pumping so more people can have jobs. Well, and then he's like, and then we're going to send them back to Mexico and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, like, you know, you have Mexican employees like working for your Trump Tower and shit. Like, you know that Mexicans have been in this country for a long time doing everything right. They're so hardworking. Like, why do you just say Mexico, mother effer? Like, Blanca was there. She's like, what? I was like, why don't you say like all these other people that are coming from all these other countries? Like, it's not just Mexican. I get it. There's Mexicans that are bad, but there's also like Venezuelans, Colombians, Argentinians, everything. Even people from Europe are doing crime. So like, why are you such a piece of shit with that? Or like separating families and stuff. Like you know damn well, like with all the fires that happen in LA, like who's gonna build the houses? Who's gonna build the businesses and stuff? You think like white people are gonna do that? Like, no, be so fucking for real, bro. Like, it's just he'll do one thing that like, oh, like, you know, as a like me that I think business or I think about wildlife or like people in general, you know, he signed that thing right away where like people over fish, and it's basically saying that like the LA fires wouldn't have been so bad if like the river would have continued to flow from north to south. LA would have had more water to fight these fires with, and the hydrants would have had more water and stuff like that. But because the governor of California put this thing where like but this river was affecting this species of fish, so that's why they built the dam and they stopped it. And Trump was like, I get your fish is, you know, a nice fish and all, but there's people literally dying because of fires. People over fish rule, and he took it away. So it's like, oh, you know what, like for all my people in LA, like that's really good for you. But then he goes and calls us racist and pedophiles and rapists and all this shit, and it's like, bro, like you're so stupid. And like 4 more years of this shit, it's like.
And here's the thing, a lot of people are like, oh well, why does politics matter? Like, why does my political view make you not want to be my friend? Why do this and that? I don't care who you voted for if you just voted for them and shut up. Yeah. Especially Trump, because Trump moves with so much hate, guys, and that's what people don't understand. For me, you voted for Trump, okay, cool, you voted for him, I don't care, you have your reasons. Oh, I voted for him because he's a godly man. Really? You think a godly man is over here talking about that? It'd be so much different if in his speech it was like, and we're gonna send all the criminals back to where they belong. Okay, cool, criminals are going by, you guys are criminals. But why do you have to say Mexico, and why do you have to target us when we are such a huge, like, we make a huge impact on everything, every single job? And everyone's saying like, oh, the economy is going to be so much better, but you want to do these mass deportations, and then who's going to be picking all these strawberries and all of this fruit? You're going to have less people doing that, which it's going to increase the what is it called? The demand for fruit. Now it's going to be more expensive. Now you're going to be paying more in your groceries, you know, and it's just so much. And for me, just the bottom line is you are supporting someone that is so publicly hateful to so many people just because he's a godly man. You know, and he didn't even have his freaking hand on the Bible when he was inaugurated, and I guess there was something saying that you only have to do it like with the first time or whatever. Those are
people that like they rushed that. I guess the first lady brings the Bible and she gives it to him, but then there was this confusion. I'm like, okay, it literally takes 1 second for him to put the hand on his.
And if
other
you're
Bible.
Such a godly man, that would be your priority, right? So for us, or for me in general, it's, you are publicly supporting someone that is so hateful, and God doesn't want you to be hateful. Like, God tells you not to judge others, yet here you are profiling people just because they're Mexican or just because they're brown. Like, that's fucked up. And to me, like, I have unfollowed so many people, not because they said, oh, I voted for Trump, but because they're like, oh, Trump, you're such a godly man, and thank you for giving my children the best future for the next 4 years. I'm like, goodbye, because that is freaking stupid, you know? Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's not just political views, it's morals, it's just how you treat others, how you talk about others. And it's like, if you're talking or praising a man like that, what does that say about you, you know? Yeah. But sorry, guys, I just had to go on a little tangent. I can't even vote, so when I can, maybe I'll have more to say, but it's a lot. It's so heavy, and yeah, I giggle because I'd rather laugh than cry on camera. So I know it's heavy times, and I mean, like I said online, we already did this for 4 years once, so let's get through it again together. And, you know, just have your plans, know your rights, inform your people, and hopefully he'll probably not do half of the things that he said. So please don't let this just make you fearful. Just get more educated and more informed on everything, because that's going to be our best friend right now.
Mm-hmm. And help out your, you know, if you know anyone that's undocumented. I seen, like, I laugh too, but it's like, it's a serious matter, but like TikTok is such an unserious place, guys. Like social media, it's like, and I've thought about this, like I've dead ass thought about this. Like, if I have undocumented people like in my car or something like that, like I'm going on a high-speed chase and like,
I'm running.
Or like I'm getting off the car and I'm running, and then I'm running around in circles, and then I'm yelling and I'm speaking just Spanish on purpose. And once, you know, all my homies are safe and I'm like detained, I'll be like, all right,
I'm a lawyer up and be like, you detained a U.S. citizen, so run me my check.
I got nervous, so all I did was speak Spanish, because that's what I do when I get nervous. It's my comfort language, and you just detain, you know?
Yeah, I know, guys. Sorry, like, you obviously have to cope with humor. What else can you do? We can't just close or lock ourselves in our room and cry. We have to be strong. We have to stay informed. Tell your loved ones, even if you don't have any immigrant people in your family, amazing for you, but that still means that you can stay informed and tell anyone else.
That's how you know good people are good people, when they don't have anything to lose, but they still care.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like I see so many Mexican Americans on my social media. They you know, when they support Trump, you know, like they just give that vibe. And I get it. You don't have any undocumented family members. Mm-hmm. You're 3 generations deep, and yeah, you speak Spanish, but you're low-key Chicano, and you just, no one is at risk of getting deported in your family. But that's when you come together and it's like, pero para ir a Cancun si te vas, ¿verdad? Or to go to Cabo si te vas. Like, you enjoy everything from your Mexican roots. But when it comes to like protecting your people or vouching for them, like, no, that's when you're all American all of a sudden, right? Like, you could care less about deportations. Like, make the border safe. Like, come on, bro. Like, pick one. You know?
And that's what people say. Like,
if it doesn't, your name's literally Jose. Like, why are you over here acting like your name's Josie or something?
Yeah.
You know, like,
and that's what people say, like, you don't talk about it unless it affects you, and that freaking sucks, because I have white friends that have nothing to do with this, that don't care about being deported, don't care about the bathrooms being changed to just men and women, whatever. And they're still online sharing and making videos saying, like, the president sucks, you know? So it's like the fact that you are Mexican, and maybe, like, for me, the most baffling thing is when United States citizens that are 18 are voting for Trump when their parents aren't documented, and they're like, oh, it's better for the economy. But it's like, oh, it's better for the economy, but first of all, they want to take your birthright citizenship, and they want to take your parents home. So
like, just say, like, bro, like, I saw the thing that's like, oh, you voted for a man? That's so gay. But I saw another one that said, like, to all these like Trump bros, you know, all these like finance, oh, the economy is going to be better, bro. Like, okay, dude, just say you can't afford $2 more for a banana. Like, you broke.
No,
like, you
my favorite animal is the people online that are like, you're not even in the tax bracket to benefit from this. And it's like, literally. But at the end of the day, guys, for us, it's not political. It's morals. It's morally. It's, yeah, you talk about walking with God and being so godly, and here you are spreading hate. Like, don't come at me with that. If you guys are in my DMs, I am DMing you back and then blocking you, because shut up, literally. Yeah. Anyways, that's our little rant for this week's podcast. Honestly, my heart goes out to every single one of you guys. And like, we are all struggling with it. Like, we all have family that is undocumented, or that was at one point. And whether or not it affects us now, it's still sad. And I have a heart, and I'm human, you know? So it takes nothing for me to be informed and to share information. So, you know, let's just leave you guys with this. Stay informed, know your plans, and inform your people.
Yeah, guys, with that being said, we love you. Everything's going to be okay. Don't stress, because I know there's people out there with severe anxiety and panicking, and everything's going to be okay, you know. And God first, always pray at night. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
We love you. Bye.
Later.
Yay Media Group.